Hey, if you're a dog owner in Arlington and you're thinking about finding a trainer, you have come to the right place. We're going to walk through everything you need to know to pick the perfect pro for you and your pup. All right, so here's what we've got on tap. We'll talk about trainings specifically for life here in Arlington, how to actually choose a trainer, what it's going to cost, and then cover some local rules and resources. And we'll wrap up with the must-ask questions for when you do that first consultation. Okay, first up, training for Arlington life. It might sound a bit specific, but picking a trainer who gets our local area, well, that can make all the difference. I mean, just picture it, right? A nice, relaxing walk down Olympic Avenue or a hike on the Centennial Trail where your dog is just a total joy to be with. That's what this is all about, making your everyday life here in town way more enjoyable. So what does that actually mean for us here? Well, it's things like navigating those classic rainy Puget Sound walks. Or what about handling the train traffic when you're near downtown? A local trainer gets this stuff. They know how to build those real-world skills your dog needs to be happy and confident right here in Arlington. All right, so that's the why. Now for the how. How do you actually choose a trainer? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of what to look for, the methods, credentials, and different programs. Okay, this is a big one. You really want to look for trainers who use reward-based methods. It's not just about giving treats. It's a whole philosophy that's proven to build trust and create behavior changes that actually stick. Now, you're going to see a bunch of letters after some trainers' names, and yeah, it can look like alphabet soup. But things like CPDTK or KPA-CTP are actually really helpful. They're certifications, and they tell you that this person has put in the work, passed exams, and is serious about their education. And if you're dealing with something more serious, like major aggression, a certification like CBCCKA is definitely what you want to look for. So what kind of training format is right for you? You've got options. Group classes, they're awesome for socialization and learning to work around other dogs and people. But let's say your main issue is barking at the mailman or jumping on your friends when they visit. Well, that's where private sessions at your home can be incredibly effective because you're tackling the problem right where it actually occurs. And there are a few other formats too. You've got day training, where the trainer works with your dog while you're at work, which is a huge time saver. Then there's board and train. That's a really intensive live-in program. And if you're dealing with bigger stuff like fear or reactivity, you'll want to look for something called behavior modification, which is a much more targeted approach. Okay, let's talk about the money side of things. What can you expect to pay for training here in the Arlington area? Knowing the numbers helps you plan. So just for a ballpark figure, a single private lesson is usually going to run somewhere between $100 and $180. And that price reflects that you're getting one-on-one, customized attention from an expert. And here's how that breaks down across different services. You can see that puppy classes or group obedience are pretty affordable. Private lessons, you'll pay by the session, but packages can save you some money. And then you get to the board and train programs. Yeah, that's a much bigger investment, but for some situations, it can be totally transformative. Okay, so being a responsible dog owner isn't just about training. It's also about being a good citizen. So let's cover the local rules. And then we'll get to the fun part, where to go practice. It's pretty simple, really. There are 3 main things to remember here. First, your dog has to be on a leash in public unless you're in a designated off-leash park. Second, rabies vaccinations are required by state law. And third, you need to get a dog license from Snohomish County once your pup is over 6 months old. It's all about keeping everyone safe. All right, enough with the rules. Let's talk about where you can take your dog to show off all those amazing new skills. We've got some great options right here in town. Terrace Park Dog Park is awesome for practicing recall in a safe, fenced-in area. Want to work on leash skills? Holler Park is a bit quieter. And the Centennial Trail? That is the ultimate test for staying focused with joggers and bikes whizzing by. Taking your dog to all these different places is how they learn to behave well everywhere. So now you've got all this info, we're going to wrap up by giving you a simple checklist. These are the questions you absolutely should ask any trainer you're thinking about hiring. This will help you know for sure if they're the right person for the job. Seriously, treat this like you're interviewing someone for a really important job, because you are. You want to ask, what methods do you use? What are your qualifications? How are you going to tailor this specifically for my dog and our life here? And then, how do we know we're making progress? And finally, get all the costs and policies in writing. No surprises. Asking these questions will help you feel really good about your final choice. When you boil it all down, the whole point of this is to answer one question for yourself. What could a really great partnership with your dog actually look like? It's about so much more than just getting them to sit, or stay.
Just imagine it, stress-free vet visits, calm, enjoyable walks through downtown, having a dog that everyone, from your family to your neighbors, is happy to see. That's what you're working towards, a dog that's a true part of your family and our Arlington community. We wish you the best of luck in finding that perfect training partner to help you get there.